All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. All right, Lord willing, I'm just gonna make this quick, because I keep seeing this guy pop up. As far as this guy, San Miguel TV, it appears over the past years or whatnot, he's become a bit of a scoffer and whatnot, but like I said, just the fact that I keep seeing this guy's face, brothers doing videos, mainly the Apostle Tahar, just got to watching this video, dealing with this guy, San Miguel, all right, and it's crazy how, just because we hear certain of these guys, guys that we've never met and things of that nature, but our apostles and elders, they have that history, they have that experience and that history with certain of these dudes, and it's just crazy because the little thing of experience, that experience, is one of the best teachers, right? Because I always say, I've always said, it's one thing to hear the apostles talk about certain things. All right. We read about certain things and we get a kind of like a general perspective, but it's different when you actually have to go through the experience itself. It is different when you actually have to experience the experience itself. So nevertheless, just I say all that to say, all right, because the Lord has us all go different situations, different experiences and whatnot, all right, to teach us certain things that could be, valuable to the body, valuable to others. All right, and again, I say all that to say, to bring it all back full circle, with this guy San Miguel, all right, and brothers at my camp, they know my history, they know my background. And I might have mentioned it a few times here and there in some videos or whatnot, but nevertheless, this is just my personal testimony dealing with this guy, San Miguel, which I knew him personally, all right? And I must say, because he was at one point in time, he was a brother, I met this man's kids. I slept in his house a few times. Because for those that don't know, I was with the so-called God-Sent Comforter. All right, I was with that organization for roughly 10 years. Almost 10 years. All right, and Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai, he took me out of that. All right, and I'm gonna say this real quick because a lot of people that come from certain of these groups, right? Because I know a lot of people that have departed from this particular organization in general, all right, dealing with this whole ICGJC, the Israelite Church of God and Jesus Christ, right? I know a lot of people that have split from that organization and they're bugged out, they're bugged out, San Miguel being one of them, and then this is just me, this is just me, all right, because a lot of guys that leave, kicked out or whatever the case may be, it's like they're looking for some type of sob story, like they need some type of therapy or whatever, once they leave certain of these particular organizations and whatnot, Because yeah, and this is why me personally, it gets me even more heated when you have a lot of these so-called leaders in Israel, all right, that are basically making merchandise off the people. You know, I have siblings. They follow other, like I have some siblings. They follow Sakari, all right, and knowing how the leadership with Sakari is, you know, it. I'll just put it like this: whenever I do come around my siblings, whenever we do come around each other, you know, it's an interesting conversation. I'll just say that, you know, because like I said, me personally, it vexes me all the more because coming from one of these organizations where, you know, the leadership they take advantage of Jake, man. Again, they make merchandise of the Lord's people. You know, that's one thing that works my nerves. It really works my spirit, man. It really pisses me off, you know. But at the same time, and it's not some you know, nothing to oh, I need therapy. I was with such and such, you know, and everyone's situation is different. All right, like I said, I was with the ICGJC, the whole so-called God sent comfort thing. I was with them for 10 years. All right, you know, but that's not a excuse to come after, you know, all Israelites and, you know, just looking for a sob story. You know, it's not an excuse because, hey, I'm grateful for where I'm at right now. You know, I'm grateful for where I'm at right now. You know, the Lord, He allowed me to obtain what I needed to get when I was with that organization. All right, when I was a part of that whole thing, and then He took me out. He removed me from the equation. So that's why when the Apostle Tar, and I'm not saying that I'm of the elect, all right, but I wholeheartedly agree and understand when the Apostle Tar makes a statement about how when it comes to these other camps, all right, when it comes to these camps, you know, the Lord is going to remove His elect from these camps, and you know, these other Israelite groups, and He's going to eventually just you know, they're going to come to naught. ICGJC being one of them. We don't hear much from them. You know, hell, not so coincidentally, the Lord has, in the area that I live at right now, you know, is actually not far from the so-called church. You know, when I was going to the, you know, the classes or whatnot, you know, I mean, unless they move to a different location, because unless they change their doctrine, I'm not sure. I don't keep up with these guys anymore. But unless they change their doctrine, last time when I was with that organization, all right, they kept the Friday, Saturdays, Sabbath, Friday, Sunday, and Saturday. So, you know, I just make it a habit every now and then, you know, just because I drive past the so-called church all the time. So I just make it a habit, you know, every now and then I might go to the so-called temple, church, or whatever, you know, and that shit still it's that thing is shut down, man. You know, that thing is still shut down. You know, like I said, unless they move to a different location or whatever. But you know, nevertheless, all right, dealing with this guy, San Miguel again, being that we were both a part of this whole ICGJC, the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, you know, and he was a prominent, you know, he was a pretty, you know, high rank, I guess you can say. He was a prominent figure within the organization. You know, I looked up to this guy. You know, like I said, he's you know, he used to take me home. I slept on this guy's couch. You know, he at one point he was a brother. You know, at one point he showed brotherly love. You know, he was real cool at one point. You know, like I said, I met his kids and all that. You know, but to see where he's at now, all right, because again, a lot of these guys, they let the fact that And I can speak for myself. Like I just said, I was with the organization. All right. You know, I was, duped. All right. I was played. We were all played. And the people that are still in our organization still getting played. You know, but the Wadi How Shemal Shai, the spirit didn't get on me to, take my frustrations out. Because it is frustrating, man. It's, you get angry. But with that being said, like I said, it's not an excuse to take your anger out and frustrations out on everyone, on every Israelite group. Because like the Apostle Tahar said, I was watching his video that he was doing on this guy, Saint Miguel. And like Apostle Tahar said, what did he ever do? Because this guy's always coming out the Apostle Tahar and, the apostles and, Great Millstone. It's like, what did brothers ever do to you? Just because you were tricked, you were deceived, which we all were. But yet you're taking your frustrations out on everyone else. It's like, well, what did everyone else do to you? So like I said, because again, seeing where he was at one point, all right, when I knew this guy personally, and he used to teach some of the classes and things like that. Like I said, he was a real prominent figure. All right. But to see where he's at now, it's a scary thing, because now it's just like the Lord just completely took his spirit off of him, man, and he's completely just bugged out, man. Let me get this real quick. Let me get this. Because like I said, it's like now this guy, he's like I said, at one point he was a prominent figure within the organization. All right. Like I said, at one point, this guy, San Miguel, he was a real brother. He showed me mad love. He showed love. But now it's like he's become a prominent figure, as far as it's like he's become a prominent scoffer. And it's a scary thing when the Lord takes his spirit from you. Like I said, seeing where he was back then and seeing where he's at right now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's this guy, he's a so-called atheist now. He's become that butthurt. All right, because again, we were all bamboozled, we were all taken advantage of within our organization. All right, we were all taken advantage of. It's just a matter of, hey, the Lord just putting the spirit on you to, hey, because I know once, and I knew the more and more, because in this thing, man, you get to a point where you want to learn more. You get to a point where you want to grow. So you start venturing out. And this is why I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure I can speak for others. When you start camp hopping, you start watching these different Israelite groups, because you just want to learn more. You want to grow, and eventually the Spirit is going to lead you to where the Lord is going to lead you to where He wants you to be. And the Wadi How Shemal Shai, I'm where I'm at right now. With Great Millstone. I follow the doctrine of Great Millstone. Watching a bunch of different Israelite groups. All right, and the Lord led me to where I'm at right now, and I'm grateful for it. All right, I'm grateful, because like I said, you get to a point where you feel like you're not growing. You're hungry for more. You want to learn more. So once I got to that point, because like I said, being 10 years in this particular organization, and for the most part, you're not really learning much. You're not learning, eventually you're going to start, venturing out, and more, just the Lord started drawing me away from that place. Right. Started drawing me away from that place. And not so coincidentally, hey, that's when the organization, it appeared to start falling apart, because they didn't really recover from, it appears that they didn't really recover from you know, the whole 2020 situation. All right. You know, I'm not even going to get into all that, but I'm gonna get this real quick. 1 Samuel 16:14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. So, as I was saying, all right, because it's a scary thing when the Lord takes his spirit from you, man. You know, instead of, like I said, because again, we were all been, you know, we were all fooled in that organization. All right, we were all played, right? But instead of just completely giving up your faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, why don't you, you know, because I know me personally, that's what I did. I started praying even when I was calling on Jesus, because, you know, that's this organization, you know, they don't use the names Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, they still calling on Jesus and Christ, right? Hence the name itself, or the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. So even when I was, you know, praying in the name of Jesus, right? Listen, at the end of the day, I was looking for answers, and I was praying. I was praying to the Lord today, show me the way, you know, because clearly, when I came to the understanding, like, man, these people, they don't got it. This organization, they don't got it, and it's not a coincidence whatsoever. This was around this was right around the time when this whole thing where the so-called God sent comforter and tax invasion and all these other things started coming up, you know, all around this time. And, you know, like I said, I came to the understanding, I came to the realization, like, they ain't got it, man. And Lord, if it be your will, lead me in the right direction, you know, because Jake, man, you know, hey, the elect, they're going to inquire, you know, they're going to inquire of the Lord. You know, and again, to the elect, and the Lord's going to lead them in the right direction. He's going to steer them in the right direction. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm of the elect. All right. But, you know, just using my example, my testimony, you know. All right. Because again, the Apostle Tar, when he makes that statement, man, you know, he's going to remove his elect out these different groups, and he's going to basically, you know, bring these other groups to naught, man. You know, but like I was saying, that experience, man, you know, it's like even before the truth, a lot of us grew up in a Christian church, you know. So even growing up in the Christian church, you know, it's like the Lord, he gives you what he wants you to he gives you just enough. Because I grew up in a Christian church, all right, and I hated going to church, like most of us did growing up. I hated going to church, you know, but it got to a point where, you know, eventually, you know, I started taking it serious, and I really wanted to learn, you know. I started growing up, you know, my late teens rather, you know, and just to show you how the Lord works, you know, the Lord is beautiful. How the Lord works. Nothing is coincidence. All right. Because, you know, the Lord does call a lot of us when we're young. All right. You know, a lot of us came into this truth. Middle school, high school, you know, college, or whatever the case may be. Right. So I remember middle school, going into high school, you know, that's when I wanted to start taking as far as going to church, you know, I started dressing up, you know, I wanted to join the deacon choir and all. I wanted to do all that stuff. But right around that time, the Lord, he moved the piece. He moved, you know, because, hey, you know, it was time. It was time for my calling. Because right when I wanted to get to that point where I was like, okay, you know, I want to take this serious. I want to go to church. And, you know, I started getting up early Sunday mornings, you know, so on and so forth. But the Lord moved the pieces, moved everything into place. Long story short, again, going into high school, you know, I was it 9th, 10th grade, you know, and that's where I learned the truth. All right. I'll never forget it. The guy that taught me the truth, who the Lord used to wake me up to this truth, you know, from there, that's when I joined the whole ICGJC organization. you know. So that's just on another note, just to show you how the Lord, man, he be working, he be moving pieces, he move, you know, the ultimate master, the ultimate chess master, man. You know, but nevertheless, going back into this with this guy San Miguel, because I'm gonna get this, man. Like I said, seeing this guy, like I said, I looked up to him. You know, he was a prominent figure within the organization. Like I said, the brother, he was a real brother. He was a, you know, he showed love. As I've said, I've slept at this man's house. He used to take me to and from, met his kids and all that. You know, he showed brotherly love at one point. He was a brother at one point. But clearly, the Lord took his spirit from him, man. And this guy's he's bugged out. He's bugged out, man. So yeah, you know, I know this guy, San Miguel. I knew him personally. And if he just so happens to see this video, he might recognize me. I don't know, but I can care less. All right, because clearly this guy, like I said, I do believe he's an atheist now. So, you know, yeah, not my fucking brother. Inside joke. But Matthew 12:43 says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return unto my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it also be, even shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So it appears that's clearly the case with this guy San Miguel. All right, at one point, you know, the spirit of the Lord was working with this guy. All right, the spirits left, man. All right, the spirit left, and you got this man has 7 more demons on him, man. And you know, if this guy continues on, then hey, his latter end is man, this is not gonna be good for him, man. Because I'm gonna get this. If I can find it. Yeah, in Proverbs. Because again, clearly this guy, he had the spirit on him at one point. The spirit left. Excuse me, the demons left. All right. And clearly that demon brought back 6 more demons. So clearly this guy, he's through. All right. He's worse than he was even before he came into the truth. Whoever he was, you know, I don't know him. I don't know him before he came into this truth, but Proverbs 19:29, judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the back of fools. You see, so because like I said, this guy being a prominent figure, not only within the organization, out here in Orlando, you know, because they do have different branches. Kind of like GMS, you know, GMS, just out here in Florida alone, you know, you got the GMS Orlando, all right, GMS Jacksonville, GMS Miami, and so on and so forth, right? So there was different branches of this ICGJC, all right, throughout, all right. So not only was this guy a prominent figure just within the GMS Slovakia. Not only was he a prominent figure within the ICGJC Orlando, but he was a prominent figure in Florida. You know, he might have been a prominent figure outside of Florida, but I know for sure out here in Florida, he was a prominent figure. You know, and again, I just say all that to say because, you know, Clearly, he went from being a prominent figure, all right, to now he's a prominent scoffer now. You know, he's a prominent scoffer now. But nevertheless, man, hey, you know, that demon left, and clearly that demon came back with 6 more demons. All right, and now this guy, he's all bugged out. You know, he's all finished through and through. You know, but yeah, that was just my personal testimony dealing with this guy, San Miguel. All right, yeah, I knew him personally. All right, at one point he was a brother. He showed brotherly love. He was cool and everything, but clearly the Lord is not dealing with him. All right, you know, the Lord is not dealing with him. The Lord took his spirit from him, and you know, that's it. That's where it's at with it. You know, I can care less. You know, I'm trying to work out my own salvation. You know, I don't say this to do this video to cry about it or anything. Oh, I miss him. No, man. you know, I can care less. I'm trying to work out my own salvation. You know, but that was just my little testimony. You know, Lord willing, was edifying. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai. And shalom to you, hopefully elect. Lord willing, get to the next one.